Community Mental Health Program. An eye-opener. Nature bestows all the wonders upon earth, making life a beautiful journey. A wonderful flip that makes everything so worthwhile. Given a choice, the dauntless would move ahead and make life meaningful. These are people who have overcome their fears, apprehensions, and illness, inspiring others to live life to its fullest. Such is the work of some of the most trusted, hardworking, dedicated, and committed professionals who have made it all possible for them to be integrated in the community.
எனக்கு நல்லா இருக்கணும், என் உடம்பு இந்த மனநினைவு நல்லா ஆகணும், வீட்டோடு நல்லா வீட்டில் இருக்கணும், கூட இருந்து நல்லா பேசி நல்லா உழைக்கணும், சம்பாதிக்கணும், உழைக்கணும், நல்லா இருக்கணும்னு இருக்குது.
The government and the other NGOs join hands to reach out to the most vulnerable and underprivileged section of the population, strengthening the area of early detection and treatment of patients within the community, relentlessly pursuing the application of mental health knowledge in general health care.
A district mental health program is an offshoot of a community mental health program from the National Mental Health Program of Government of India, Ministry of Health. So, to increase the accessibility, availability, and based on their affordability, this particular program is very much beneficial to the grassroots rural population of India. That's what the purpose, the motto is, reaching the unreached. Though they cannot come to a center, so they neglect their mental health problems. So instead we reach them at their doorstep and deliver the goods.
Thus summing up the excellent work in the areas of medication, making provisions for easy access to medicines, counseling and rehabilitation, working on all the areas of development, finally aiming at mainstreaming, research, effective measures to influence the course of prevention, breakdown, and quick recovery, use of technology, telemedicine that facilitates the outreach intervention program, employment, creating job opportunities for those who have been treated, law, ensuring to safeguard their rights, warding off superstitious methods of healing, and finally bringing about sensitization among the people. With the help of NMHP, NGOs, and the government, working persistently for the benefit of people with mental illness, there has been a paradigm shift in society's attitude. However, this is just one side of the coin. Now just take a look at the other side.
In Tirunelveli, a hearing impaired woman was raped. Police never recorded a case. This really disturbed that woman and she became mentally ill. Even in that state, she was raped thrice again. Police just warned the criminals and the criminals just walked scot-free. In another incident, a mentally ill man was lynched to death by the mob because he was wandering without clothes. What kind of a world are we living in?
Mental illness does not happen only to the other people. It can happen to anybody at any stage of life. Time has come for all of us to wake up to the call of humanity. Take a look at the pathetic state of affairs. Mental health disorders account for nearly a sixth of all health-related disorders. Yet we have just 0.4 psychiatrists and 0.02 psychologists, and only 0.25 mental health beds are available per 10,000 population.
If you take an average Indian villager, he'll have to travel about on an average 40 kilometers to access basic treatment for mental illness. And if you look at the family situation as such, the person cannot travel alone, so there need to be at least 2 people who escort the person. And then you have, most of them are daily wage earners, and they have to forgo their age, the conveyance, the food expenditure, everything works on them, and they're not able to sustain the treatment as such, because of which, ultimately they stop treatment, the illness really aggravates, and finally they land up on the streets. And once on the street, what happens to them is nobody's business. There is nobody who's really responsible for the person on the street. The Mental Health Act gives you specification on what needs to be done when you find a person homeless and with mental illness. Though the police are equipped to handle it, according to the act, in the implementation, they don't have the training as such, and most of them don't even have the knowledge about the Mental Health Act. And when we also look at what happens after the treatment, you give them basic medications in a hospital setup, and they recover from illness. After that, what happens to them? That is where this question of rights of persons with mental illness comes in. But if you look at our legal system itself, there is a lot of flaws in it. If you look at the Marriage Act, the Act says that a person who is mentally ill cannot marry. If you look at the Contract Act, then they cannot get into contract. And the same people who say that mental illness is a disease and need not be given certification for disability says that you cannot employ a person with mental illness because they cannot perform. So there's a lot of differences within the sector itself and within the professionals itself, which needs to be tackled, and the solution which we give should be a holistic solution.
In spite of all the work that has been put in, there's much to be done.
நான் மனநிலையிலேருந்து நல்லா ஆகிட்டேன். நான் இருந்து என்ன பிரயோஜனம்? யார் எனக்கு வேலை கொடுக்குறா? என் மனைவி என்னை சேர்க்கறதில்ல. நானே ரொம்ப பாதிப்படுறேன்.
It would be very useful if we can focus on these areas. Access to medicines should be made easy. Medicines should be available at primary health centers. Medical and counseling camps should be conducted periodically. Focus on research in rural areas. Schools need to have counselors. Form caregivers group as support system. Labor policies must welcome people with history of mental illness. More work has to be undertaken towards creating awareness and sensitization.
The issue of prevention and promotion of mental health, for example, exams, financial difficulties in rural areas, all these areas could be addressed by a health worker primarily, and when it's beyond her ken, she can refer it to the primary physician, and from there it can go into a logical referral system to a higher center or an apex center. Right now, most people would be going straight away there, but now there will be a filter and a regulated referral.
So let us all join hands and erase the stigma and discrimination about mental illness. After all, we are all one big family, striving to live in peace and harmony.